Yeah,
If not,
considering all the options that Tampa does have, he's where I would go if I was Tampa or if I was a fan of the Buccaneers.
it's got the potential to be a volatile situation if he busts. But I deplore the Tampa fans to be patient.
Yeah, very.
Be patient.
Yep.
Don't expect Peyton Manning numbers his rookie year. Mm-hmm. Expect a lot of mistakes. Expect, some rough games. Be happy at the end of the year if they're 6-10, 7-9.
Yeah.
But don't expect it to be a 1-year turnaround with either quarterback at the helm.
The good part is for Jameis, if he does go to Tampa, that there's weapons for him already in place. He has the weapons already there for him. It's not like he's coming to Jacksonville last year where there was absolutely nothing.
He's an all-pro wide receiver and a receiver that made a very strong case for Rookie of the Year last year.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, y'all. He'll be going into a very good situation with the weapons. I liken it to almost like Teddy Bridgewater going into Minnesota last year, where he had weapons to actually throw to when he came into the game. So I think he'll be pretty well off, and I think Tampa will be very well off as going with Jameis Winston.
Not to mention new offensive coordinator Dirk Cutter from Atlanta. Greatest name in football, Dirk Cutter.
Yep, I know all about Dirk.
He was credited with helping bring Matt Ryan along.
Yep.
As best you could. Matt Ryan's a natural talent. I don't ever give a coach credit for a player's success that. No. Matt Ryan was a tremendous talent without him.
But he's a good offensive coordinator. He was here in Jacksonville too. In some of our more successful years.
So it's going to be interesting to see what the team does.
Yeah, it'll be fun. But again, we'll probably be doing a draft show. Yeah, right before the draft, going through a lot of these guys and seeing hopefully where it pans out and who we think's going to go where and what. That'll always be a fun show.
We'll do our own version of Caught in the Dress.
Yes. All right. Let's do a little NBA talk. I don't know if you heard, but Kevin Durant's going to be out 4 to 6 months after having surgery on I think it's his foot, and which is a big blow to Oklahoma City, who right now is in the 8th spot in the West. What do you think about Kevin Durant being out? Do you think there's been some rumors and stuff that Oklahoma City might be up to trading Kevin Durant because Russell Westbrook is all of a sudden taking over this team? What are your thoughts on that?
What are my thoughts on that?
Yeah.
I lean with Dr. Jack Ramsey on this. And that is, you can't teach size. Yeah. I always get leery when people start talking about trading a big man to keep a guard. Mm-hmm. It very seldom works out. I think Oklahoma's going to go that way mainly because it's obvious as the nose on your face. Garnett. I think Garnett and Marbury. It's obvious Westbrook and Durant can't get along.
Exactly.
And I'm not talking in a personal matter. I'm not talking like that. It's just that court's not big enough for the both of them.
Exactly.
And they're going to have to make a choice. I don't think either team they set free, I don't think it'll be a bit of departure.
Yeah.
I don't think you'll see, again, like Stephon Marbury leaving Minnesota. I don't think you'll see a bit of departure. But there's something that needs to be done to keep the boys happy. Yeah. I just don't think there's enough shots for both those guys in that offense. Yeah. I just get real leery and real suspect when the team starts talking about giving up some of the 6'9" for a 6'3" point guard who's already blew a knee out.
Yeah, that's true. But then you always got that, and then you'll still have the people on the other side of the fence that'll be on that side that when a big man has a foot injury, that always makes it a little scary on that end too.
Yeah, either way, it's not a good thing they're in.
Yeah.
I was highly critical of Oklahoma City trading James Harden.
Yeah.
And I really think that just shows a huge problem in sports about maintaining egos. That Oklahoma City team was set to be a contender,
Mm-hmm.
and they traded pieces away.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of building and working together and working around the differences and building the differences, they traded a big piece of that away.
Yeah.
And talk about a tease for Oklahoma City fans to be so close to becoming in the upper echelon of sports.
Yeah. And
you had Durant, Westbrook, Harden, Perkins. You got to the NBA Finals. You won a game against the Heat. You had a pretty solid playoff run there, and they've just dissected the team.
Yep.
It's like they missed the let's win the championship before we start dissecting the team part of the equation.
Yeah.
So your heart really has to go out to the Oklahoma City Thunder fans because either way, I know they're sitting in an 8th seed right now and they just lost Durant. Either way, with either one of those guys by themselves, Durant by himself or Westbrook by himself, with the way the West is playing out right now, they're a 4 seed at best with Westbrook or Durant by themselves playing out of their mind.
Yep.
They're a 4 seed at best.
Yep.
So
I just think if they're going to do something with Durant, you better do something with him before he walks out the door on his own. If you
get something to return for him.
If you're wanting to get something, you better do it because in a year he'll be able to walk right out the door and not even have to worry about it.
But the funniest thing about this, Kev, the funniest thing about this whole ordeal is it's obvious Durant and Westbrook can't play well together.
Yeah.
But either they're just professional enough and they get along and they realize it, or this is the most passive-aggressive feud I've ever seen in the NBA. Because you can't go see any media of them taking shots at each other. There's no bickering.
No.
So either they actually personally like each other, the Oklahoma City Thunder is great at keeping it in house, or this is like the most passive-aggressive feud in the history of the NBA.
Yeah.
Because you can't find one clip, one soundbite, or anything. This I compare this to Montana and Young. You knew there was tension there, but you didn't really know. It's just kind of like, these guys have some issues with each other. They realize they can't be on the same team,
and that's it.
It's almost humorous. Like it really is almost funny to me how like passive aggressive this whole thing has been.
I think with how the games have played off, like last year with Durant doing so well with Westbrook out, and then this year with Westbrook doing what he's doing with Durant out, I think it kind of makes it not necessarily they don't really like each other or there's tension between them. I just think that they're getting tired of hearing that one's better than the other one, and they just want it to be where they're separated. That way they can know who's better than the other one.
Yeah, but I mean, if you look at other feuds that have came about,
these guys aren't even
not
feuding.
Being big enough.
Yeah.
I mean, let's look at the last 15 years. Garnett and Marbury.
Yeah.
Stackhouse and Iverson. Do I even need to mention Shaq and Kobe?
No.
I mean, look at the feuds where there's 2 superstars on the Pippen and Barkley.
Yep.
Look at the feuds where there's 2 superstars on the team. Some of them feuds carry on to today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, how is this the most passive-aggressive, like, this is a time with social media and everything, and the media wanting a soundbite, wanting a story, or wanting to stir something up. This is the biggest story in the NBA right now.
Yeah.
And nothing. Nope. It's just kind of like nothing.
It's the slowest, most boringest thing that you could think of right now before.
Yeah, this is like it's kind of amusing to me how this has been. I mean, what a hand to be played. You have 2 potential MVP candidates, or a prior MVP and 1 MVP candidate, and you have to choose between them.
Yep. But like I said before, OKC has to determine if they want to just let Durant go his own way, or do they want to try to get something back for him. And if they want to try to get something back for him, they need to do it. Because right now, they'd probably be able to get a pretty good chunk off of it. It ain't going to be like other things where Dwight Howard left Orlando and other people were leaving and they barely got back anything for him. This would be the one guy that you'll be able to get something that is almost equal to his value.
Yeah, they could get somebody who's almost, if he comes back healthy, they could get a lot off of one person.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'm talking draft picks. They could get a big deal out of this guy.
They could get a big deal. And he's one of those guys that I think you'll be able to get that deal off of if you need to go and do it. But you don't let him walk out. You need to definitely look at all avenues, especially if you're wanting to keep Westbrook. That's what you need to do.
Oh, yeah, because you got to give him somebody to play with.
Yep. Or he'll be like a spoiled little child with no one to play with. That's a
definite monster you could have, and you need to give him something to play with.
Yep, but you definitely have to give somebody, if you're doing it, you definitely have to get somebody that's going to fit in with Westbrook, that will be able to play within his game, or you'll have this problem again, to where you'll have the Durant-esque problem where you didn't get somebody that's going to be able to mesh well with Russell Westbrook's game.
That is definitely one of the issues. It's a tough place to be in.
Yep.
Not only that, where could Durant land? Like,
well, I know.
What teams could you see picking him up?
I know if he left, one of the big ones would be Washington. Would be one of the ones that would definitely. And even if they wanted to trade for him, they do have some talent and stuff they would be able to use in ability to get Durant to come to Washington. They would probably have to give up either John Wall or Bradley Beal.
I think they'd go with Beal.
Yeah, and they would have to give up probably one of their big men.
I could honestly see Beal, Nene, and some draft picks.
Yeah, that would be perfect for both teams as well. It'd give what it would give is Russell Westbrook, that other guy on the wing in Bradley Beal, who can also take some of the ball handling out of him, and it gives you that big man that you need to take some of that leeway off.
Being a big man in the West, it's almost essential to need one. You just cannot win without a big man.
Exactly. And Nene would be a good fit with that team too, especially the way they play, and especially he would fit in nice with the Westbrook style of wanting to go up and down, because Nene can get up and down the floor.
Yeah, it's hard to believe Nene's been in the league he was drafted in the same draft as LeBron James.
I know, it's amazing. He was in the Dwayne Wade, LeBron, Carmelo,
Chris Bosh,
and Chris Bosh draft. It's amazing.
That's going to be, when all's said and done, Kevin. Talk about the NBA draft classes. Is it safe to say that draft class easily ranks right behind the '84 draft class?
It definitely does. There's no doubt in my mind that ranks right up there with '84. Or when it's all said and done, they may be able to surpass the '84.
I wouldn't go that far, because one person in the '84 draft class by himself has 6 rings.
Oh yeah, that's it.
Might be very hard to pass.
But you're looking at
there's 8 championship rings, Kevin, in the top 3 picks in the '84 draft.
If you look at the top 5 in that class, the number 1 pick has a ring. He has what? He has 2.
He has 2.
Yeah. The number 2 pick has 1.
You have 7.
The number 2 pick has 1.
You have 8. Because Darko Milicic got a ring.
Yep, he got
with
1.
The Detroit Pistons.
Yep.
But and then another draft that people overlook when we talk about the best NBA drafts, '96 draft.
Oh, huge draft.
Iverson, Kobe Bryant, Ray Allen.
Yep, huge draft.
Stephon Marbury was in there.
Even Shaq's draft was a big draft.
'92 was just Shaq and Mourning
Mourning.
Leitner.
Yep, Leitner was in that class.
Gugliotta.
No, Googs. Good old Googs.
So, there's a lot of good drafts. When it comes down to, I think, '84 and '03.
Yeah, are definitely going to go down as 2 of the best.
I mean,
'84 is already.
What?
'84 is already went down.
I think '84. I want to say 8 out of the top 13 are Hall of Famers.
Yeah, and they were almost all of them were on the 50. All of the bigger names on that were in the top 50 players. list when they did it for the 50th anniversary.
So yeah, I mean that's when you think about it, that's some good drafts.
It's a crazy. Well, let's take